what is the opportunity cost? Now, for most people, and understandably so, when we make decisions, we usually look at them one-dimensionally in the concept of what's the cost. So, if, for example, I'm going to join the greatest program ever created to completely transform my life, I'm going to join Chasing Greatness Daily. What is the cost of doing so? How much does it cost me? You might even take it a little bit of a step further and be like, not just money-wise, but how much time per day is it going to cost me? Or effort, or, whatever the fuck you're going to look at. Those are pretty normal questions to ask. But the question that needs to be asked is not just the cost in terms of time, money, effort, but what is the cost of not doing it? Because I think there's reframing that needs to be done. And look, yes, I truly believe that you should join Chasing Greatness Daily. I am consistently seeing with myself, with the people I work with, that it will change every aspect of your life. Not even subtle pitch here for my product, but it'll change your life. Physically, mentally, emotionally, how you show up, discipline, keeping your word, all that kind of stuff. It will drastically improve your life. It's an investment into you, an investment into your future. And that's how I think you should frame it. And to be honest, I think that's how you should frame most things around your health and fitness. But regardless of that, the question you need to be asking yourself when we make decisions about these kinds of things, and you can make them in the macro and the micro on the daily basis, what is the opportunity cost of not doing this? So it'd be like, what's the opportunity cost of not getting into great shape? That could be time missed out with your family. That could be time. It could mean that you die and you miss out on years of life. It could be that you're unable to participate in things that your children want. Now, this sometimes happens on massive scales. Like, I had a woman who ended up, from years ago I was training her, and she ended up in hospital because she didn't look after her health. She came to me after this fact, and this is the wake-up call for it. But she missed her daughter's wedding because she didn't make the right choices around her health and fitness. So she came to me because she'd missed the wedding, because she'd chosen that dopamine chasing for too fucking long. And so she wasn't there when her daughter got married. That's an opportunity cost that you can never get back. And this is the thing around opportunity costs, that you often can't see what you're building towards in the moment. You can't see these things that you're going to miss out on by not making the right decisions now. They're things that will appear down the track, and you've missed that opportunity because you didn't make the right choices earlier on. And I think this is why a lot of people struggle with this, because you don't know what those opportunity costs are till you get there. But generally speaking, when I'm talking about health and fitness, the opportunity costs are going to be huge. The things that you'll miss out on, and as I said, that you won't realize until you get to that moment, will be huge. And sometimes they can be in the micro that add up to be massive things. So the example I saw the other day, which made me think about this, was we were at the park, and I was with we were with a friend of my daughter's. So her father was there as well. And it's down to the little things. So my kids were so fucking eager to get into the park. And for whatever reason, there's a big fence around it, which is great, keeps kids contained in that. But there's only one entrance, and it's at the opposite end to the parking lot. And our kids are like, we want to go straight to the slide. We want to jump in and get on the climbing thing. So I lifted them over the fence and then jumped the fence so that we could go do that. The father that we were with was unable to do so. He couldn't A, lift his child, and B, couldn't jump the fence himself. And so you could see the disappointment in his daughter's face as my kids, because they're 4 and 2, are completely oblivious to all other people, ran off and jumped on the slide that they wanted to get on. They were straight onto the equipment, and here we go. And he had to turn to his daughter and he's like, "Oh, sorry, sweetie, we'll just walk around." Now, this is a nothing moment. Like, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of life. But in that moment, this little girl looked up at her father in pure disappointment. In pure, "Why can't you, Daddy?" Because she didn't understand that it wasn't that he didn't want to. It wasn't that he was trying to punish her. He just physically couldn't. And I could see it on his face as well. The embarrassment of the moment, that he was like, "Oh, well, I can't do this." And as I said, these are tiny little things, but that's an opportunity that he'll never get back. A micro moment of pure disappointment in his daughter's eyes, but because he hadn't made the choices along the way. And look, we had a discussion about it, and sometimes it takes little things for people to realize. So he's going to make a decision, and he's like, "Well, I think I need to get into exercise." So he's starting that process. Whether he follows through, I'm uncertain. But there was a moment of clarity of going, maybe I need to do more. Maybe I need to do better. And these are the things that you can't quantify in the moment. But I guarantee you there are things that you not keeping your word, you not being in great shape, you not taking the actions for future you is going to cost you. It is gonna cost you at some point. And those are opportunities that you can't get back. And it's this thing where people are like, "Oh, well, your program," because if you complete Chasing Greatness Daily, and you get through the 6 weeks, you go into the next one, which is 126 days. And I have people, and I understand, it seems like an unfathomable level of time. They're like, "Well, that's a lot to give up. It's a lot to sacrifice." Is it? In the grand scheme of life, 126 days. Say you live to be 70 or 80. Is 126 days really that much? And say you hate it. Say you decide that it wasn't the life-changing experience that I said it was. Say you get to the end of the 126 days and you're like, "No, wasn't worth it." What have you really lost? You can go back to, sitting on the couch and stuffing your face. You can go back to hitting the bar on the weekends or having wine with every meal or whatever the fuck it is. You can go back to just being a couch potato. That option is always going to be there. That opportunity cost isn't going away. There's always going to be the TV to watch. There's always going to be doom scrolling. There is always going to be alcohol and junk food and all this kind of stuff. That opportunity cost is never going away. It'll never disappear. They will always be there. But the opportunities to be the fittest, healthiest, strongest version of yourself, to inspire your children, to be happy with the man in the mirror, to have the energy and the discipline and the grit to go out and take on anything you want, to have the opportunity at any moment to do the things that you want to do without question, without, can I actually handle this? Those opportunities will disappear. Those opportunities aren't coming back. And as we discussed the other day, most people have no idea how good they could and should feel. They have zero perception and concept of how good they should be showing up as. Those opportunities don't come back. That's what not taking the action is costing you. That's what continuing to sedate, continuing to choose easy in the moment is costing you. And I think that's why it's also hard for people to truly make the decisions, because they're intangibles. I can quote the things that are really simple for you. Yeah, you'll look fucking better. You'll drop body fat. You'll have more strength, more muscle definition. You'll be in greater shape. You'll be healthier. You'll have more energy. All those kinds of stuff. That's really easy and tangible for me to explain to you. Granted, in my head, that should be enough. Hell, just being a healthier role model for your kids or just in your life and being happier with yourself should be enough. But if it's not, let's talk about the intangibles. Let's talk about those moments that you can't get back, and you won't know until it's too late. You won't realize that you have missed an opportunity until you're missing the fucking opportunity. And that's not even to the cost of opportunities that you don't know that you're missing because they never arise. You don't know those other opportunities that you've missed out on because, well, they never come for you to know that you've missed out on, because you've never invested enough into yourself to start that process, to get that ball rolling, to see who you could be. You know, I'm going to butcher the quote, but it's from Socrates, that a man has no right to be an amateur in the form of physical health. You need to know what it's like to be in great fucking shape. And more so as you age, more so as you head into being a parent, into a father, and leading by example. You need to know what it's like to be in great fucking shape. It is so unbelievably important. And most people will have no idea. Most people will never know. Most people will never find out what it's like to be in great fucking shape. And that's really sad. We live in a world these days where the bar is on the fucking floor. Have you ever walked around, a shopping center or just life in general and looked at the people there? How many people are even in just average shape, just not overweight, not unhealthy? It's a pretty small percentage. It's why when you see fit people, when you see people who have done the work and looked after themselves, especially as they get older, it's a rarity. It's something that you step back and go, look at that guy. It becomes a statement. We've spoken about this before. Being in great fucking shape instantly says to the world that you're a man who cares about himself, about how he shows up, about others around him, a man of discipline, a man of grit and determination, a man who's going to get shit done. Because, as I said, more and more in this world, it is easier than ever to not do the work. It is easier than ever to sit on your ass and do fucking nothing. The bar is on the floor when it comes to this. But you are missing out on so many opportunities for greatness. And I always cop flack for this one, but I stand by it. I believe it is your duty, your honor, and your obligation to those that you care about to be in great fucking shape. Because, well, you are not being your best when you are not. You are leaving opportunities on the table when you are not in great shape. And that doesn't have to be six-pack, shredded to the nines, obsessed with every aspect of it. No, it doesn't. But it means being healthy. It means being fit. It means being strong and mobile and capable of doing shit. Being a functional member of society. And the older you get and the busier life gets, the more of a status symbol it is to be in good shape. Yeah, when you're in your 20s, I remember what it was like. I don't have great genetics and I fucked around a lot and I was still in pretty great shape. But as you get into your 30s, as you have kids, as you have more responsibilities, as you don't have just time to work out and, fuck around all day, it becomes this statement of, this shit matters, so I'm going to look after myself. I'm going to look after my health. I'm going to look after my future. I am not choosing the easy way out. I am not choosing to dopamine chase. I am choosing future me to be the best version I can be. I am making difficult choices in the moment so that I can show up as the best version of myself. And that matters. That really, really matters. And I cannot emphasize it enough, especially as a father. Especially as a father. Your choices in this domain will drastically impact your children in so many aspects, in how they view food and fitness and exercise and all this kind of stuff, what they consider to be the norm, what they consider looking after themselves, what they consider making good choices. Imparting the concept of discipline and grit and determination, as well as health and fitness and good nutrition onto your children, is one of the greatest gifts that you can ever give your children. We have a rising obesity epidemic in children. Don't let your children fall into that statistic. Show them what it's like, that how important exercise is, how important health and fitness is, that good food is important. Show them from the get-go so that they just grow up thinking that is the norm, that those things are just passed on or built into them, ingrained into them, so that they don't have to go through the lessons that we are going through to have to override years of programming to build that into our personality, so that they don't have to override all those issues that have been built upon, that it just becomes who they are. Because we spoke about it the other day, the sick man only wants one thing. So if you can ingrain into them from the get-go to be healthy, to exercise, to be full of energy, to eat good foods, and to build that into them, that's great, because we're seeing this rising epidemic of children with diseases and health problems because, well, during the easiest stages of their life, aka childhood, where they should just be running around and burning off energy, there's a rise of obesity, rise of malnutrition, rise of diabetes, all these kinds of things, because those choices are being demonstrated by their parents at an extreme level. So what if you took control? What if you took control of your life and in turn imparted that onto others? Because when you take control of your life and you're constantly a shining beacon of what is possible, those around you will change. From your children, from your partner, from your friends, from your family. All those around you will be impacted by the choices that you make, because you made the right choices. Don't let the opportunity cost be so high, not just for you, but for your children, for your family, for all those around you. That opportunity cost is astronomical, and you deserve better. They deserve better. To be the best version of yourself. All of you deserve this opportunity to reap the benefits of being in great fucking shape, of being a man of your word, of doing what is required. But it starts now. You don't know what you're missing out on because you haven't done the work yet to miss out on it. It hasn't been there to be presented. It's the intangibles. But I can guarantee you, if you can commit to the work, if you can go all in, every aspect of your life will be better. All these opportunities will present themselves. And over time, you'll forget that you would have missed out on these opportunities. You would have missed out on these little things that seem like nothing but build to massive things. Like, I didn't think anything of jumping this fence with my children, being able to climb the equipment with them. I didn't think anything of it because this is just who I've decided to be. These are the opportunities that I get to avail myself of regularly because I make the choices. because I have chosen to be the strongest, the fittest, the healthiest version of myself, that I have chosen that I am going to improve every single year. I will not let getting older cause a decline in what I am capable of. I want my children to look up to me and be like, as they progress into sports, that they want to be like dad, that they want to be able to beat dad. I want to be the fit dad. I want to be the one that other dads aspire to be. I want to be the shining example. I don't want to have paid and missed out on opportunities paid that price because I couldn't choose to delay my gratification. Those to me would be the ultimate regrets in life. So I choose this. I choose to make sure I never miss out on opportunities as they arise because I've done the work ahead of time. And so should you. So if you're ready to invest into you and stop missing out on those opportunities that will come, because that price of the opportunities that can't be gotten back is higher than the investment it will take to get you into the greatest shape of your life, to become the best version of yourself. So if you are ready for that, shoot me a message. Let's get you into Chasing Greatness Daily. It's just 6 weeks to start with. Just 6 weeks, and then you can make a decision from there who you want to be. So if you're ready for that, shoot me a message and let's make that a reality. If you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, as always, if you found value from this, if this spoke to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, subscribe. The majority of people who are watching this are not subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button because I am here every single day, like Chasing Greatness Daily, like all of this. Every single day, without fail, I am here, sharing from the front, sharing as I go through this, sharing my experiences as I learn it, and from the experiences of my guys in Chasing Greatness. So please hit that subscribe button because I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.